The final showdown, final task. At this point, you can almost taste success. What you can also taste is how close you were to winning. Enough of all that. Let's get right to it, shall we?
Contestants, it's the final showdown. Now is where you get to show us your creativity and that you're the next big thing in Zambian media. For the final time, the five of you will work together on a project of your choice. We want a TV show to fill a 24-minute slot. This show is expected to demonstrate to us that we have five of the best creatives of this season of the Diamond TV Presenter Search. We are ripping off all of the borders and boundaries and would like to see your creativity flourish in whatever you decide to do. The bottom line is that each one of you must have a role in this competition, and each one of you must have screen time. This is the final showdown. We want to see the very best of you. Our objective is for your show to be good enough for us to consider commissioning on our platform.
The contestants have been given their final task for the season. This is a make or break situation. They must collectively produce a 24-minute TV show. The real catch is who manages to stand out and ultimately become a contender to become the next Diamond.
Who do I think deserves to go home amongst the three of us, if not me, would most definitely be Annie. Simply because, due to lack of a better term, her work is mediocre, and from the get-go, we've been hearing complaints amongst contestants, people saying this and that, saying she's selfish, she's always thinking about herself, she's inconsiderate. But I try my best to overlook it, but I can't. I've tried to get to know her on a personal level, but I can't seem to wrap my head around it. So I feel like she'd be the best person to go home, and also she's not a team player. It's either her way or no way. Our previous task, people literally said anybody to be team lead but Annie, and that's not a good look. So in my defense, I think she should go home.
I'm actually not as put together as I appear, but because I appear put together and I appear a little bit cocky because I walk like I'm so confident, people would feel like, okay, Annie is quote unquote has main character energy or has main character syndrome. So I feel because of that, people got closer to each other, and I tend to keep to myself when I notice people making smaller circles. So do I feel like I was not part of the particular circle that remained in the top 6? Yes, I do. There was some hidden resentment there, and to be fair, no one told me about it. No one came up to me and said, oh, we think that you think about yourself too much, or we think that you focus on your own work too much. If someone had walked up to me and said that, I would have actually, it would have probably clicked at the time and be like, oh, okay, we can change, or we can do this and do that. But it was a situation where they're just speaking amongst themselves about me. So that being said, they'll protect each other as friends.
When Annie did what she did, we actually created a separate group chat away from Annie, and we created a group chat just for the task with Annie. So in the group chat that we created with Annie, we would talk to her about the task. We invited her in to give her ideas and everything. But the separate group chat is where we actually were like, okay, what are we going to do about this person? Outside of DPS, are we going to be friends? Are we going to hang out? Or are we going to cut her out of our lives? But besides the group chat that was also made, there was also a lot of drama on the bus on the actual day. She was told off by Lillian and Luendo about Lillian, Luendo and Ntandose, as well as Edna, about what she had done, because all four of them were like, what she did was wrong. And I didn't have much to say because I was still trying to digest the fact that she had kind of just thrown us under the bus. And she had been like, yeah, she thought she'd done a good thing. And working with her was kind of, we had to be plastic. She's a fake person. I'm not gonna lie, she's very fake. So you give fakeness back to a fake person. And you just have to know your boundaries with a fake person. So she was like, no, we should hang out. Even where we're currently staying as the top 5, she wants us to hang out, but we've been hanging out, we just don't include her. She doesn't know that we've created a separate group. We hang out without her, we do things without her, and then we'll lie to her and say we're all going to bed, but we're not going to bed. And I think that's been fun. I think that's the best revenge. Just show her smiles and carry on with your life.
Contestants, break a leg. We are only inches closer to crowning the next diamond. But first, the contestants have to present to Costa what their work is looking like. This is not the first time the contestants are collectively working on a project. Is this time going to be any better? Lillian is group lead this time around and now introduces the work done to Costa.
So our task, first of all, I'll start with production roles. Edna was the producer, Annie the director, then Luendo and Chiti were script writers. So I think I would also like to mention that we might, not sure if we're going to be able to wow you this time around, but I'm actually very proud of the teamwork that we did put together this time around, especially with what happened the previous episode. But we did come together, and from our angle, this is probably the most creative we've been throughout the season. So we are hopeful that you feel the same way about it. So for what the show is about, I'll let the producer elaborate on it.
So I'm proud of all the 5 girls of us because we didn't let that rub off on us. Instead, because we actually even had teamwork after that, we said, okay, let us work. This is, we need to do this. Let's put everything aside. And we worked with her. And the following day, she even mentioned to say, you guys, I'm so happy on how you've addressed all this issue, how you've worked with me. And we said, oh, okay, cool. Of course, there's also some extent of boundaries because now we have a limit with what we say around her, because I think with everything, we should set limits and boundaries, because as girls, sometimes you can just be there, just babbling, chatting. You can just say something that's not serious, but with someone who can throw you under the bus easily, we have to be alert. So there are just certain things that we just can't say around her, but we're all good, but we just need to keep boundaries because I think we can't just trust a person like her just anyhow after what she said, especially that she even mentioned to say, I'm not here to make friends. But as human beings, we moved on, we carried on, but we've set some kind of boundaries.
The teamwork was actually very exceptional this time around. We were all hands-on, yes we were. In as much as Annie was the director, in places where she was shooting her episode and needed guidance, or rather a director on set, we were all willing to chip in and come through. It was not a one-man's show this time around. There was teamwork. At this point, we all understood what is at stake, and what was expected of each and every one of us. So there was teamwork.
So after we watch and during elimination, I don't expect any surprises in terms of who did not do what and people snitching on each other.
If that comes up, then it's a personal thing. But in terms of, from my point as team lead, I really do not have any complaint.
Going into the top 5, I know there were mixed feelings and emotions. Was the hatchet buried? Is everybody okay on this team? Getting along?
I would like to think we are.
Kitty, you're biting your lip.
I said nothing.
Is everybody working as a team?
Everybody worked as a team.
So we all just decided that one person was not going to jeopardize the work that we were going to do, and at that point we just put emotions aside and just let everybody do the part that they were playing. I think Annie was also director of that task, and at the end of that task, that very evening, that's when she apologized to all of us, and I don't think her apology was received well. There's mixed emotions still, but overall we just put emotions aside and we focused on the task that was at hand.
And I have to say I'm very impressed by how everyone took it so maturely, and we sat down, like we said, and had a conversation, a heart to heart as the team. And also I think I did listen to what they said last time, so which is why I also tried to work on it and try to be there for everyone like they needed me to be. So the whole team definitely did work very hard together. There was exceptional teamwork.
Let's work. Let's see.
On this week's episode of Beyond the Dish, we show the secrets behind sustainable living, how to save money, and how to eat healthy through home gardening. Hungry AF talks about how he comes up with unconventional and creative meals. Edna takes us into the streets to discover local flavors. Nutritionist Rita Siamfuko educates new mothers on how to eat healthy to maintain strength and energy while breastfeeding.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Dish. Now this is a show that allows us to talk about the food that you love. My name is Lillian Chipeso.
And I'm Linda Makala. Together we taste bold flavors.
Now, exciting show lined up. We are talking food that you grow from your garden up to the table, and we also go to the streets and we want to see what you eat.
And we kick-started with, just as you've mentioned, straight from the garden, from the soil, up until the plate, set with the tablecloths and the finest of dining sets. We go to Miss Annie Makaleni, who gives us just that.
From backyard gardening to small-scale urban farming, we explore how growing crops in your backyard will help you with your health benefits, save money, as well as bring a fresh new flavor to your table. Now, I will be joined by Mrs. Mutinta Nijila Fiseko, who will take us through the secrets and nitty-gritties of sustainable living. Come with me.
For starters, it's just nice to have fresh vegetables when you need them. And then the other thing is that vegetables are somehow expensive. So when you have your own variety, it works well.
Okay.
So I love gardening.
You love gardening. I mean, we have quite a variety here. Please guide us through what you have in your garden.
So I have quite a few vegetables. Some of them are spices.
Okay.
So I have like my mint, I have my coriander, and I'm growing something that I've never grown. They're called sprouts.
Okay.
Yes. And then I have my red cabbage. This is the first time I'm having it.
Is that the red cabbage?
Yes, that's the red cabbage. And then the rest are just the rep and the spinach. And yeah, and the Chinese. Saving maybe 100 kwacha a week, which is okay for me because then I get to have my vegetables. And you know, when you're growing your own crops, like for instance, buying this one seedling is about 15 way like that. So imagine now how much I'm saving.
Okay. So it's a good thing for people to actually start growing crops in
The
backyard.
best thing you can do for your family.
Okay. You're not only growing your veggies and your rape and your cabbage, but you're also growing fruits, I've seen.
Yes.
Really? How did you go about that? How did you move from growing veggies only to also having trees and your oranges and your lemons?
Okay, so I want to grow everything myself. So the benefit of this is that fruits are expensive. They're very expensive. Just like five natches will cost you
50 kwacha.
Exactly. So I'm saving on 50 kwacha. But then again, my family gets to enjoy fruits.
Mrs. Fiseko, you've shown us your beautiful garden and your lovely fruits. Now we want to see how your food moves from the farm to the actual table to feed your family. So we can get into the process of actually getting to the lovely part, which is the food.
No problem. So we'll get some nachos and some mint.
I have one here.
Yes, so we'll make some juice, and then I have some vegetables that we plucked, we got on Monday, which we're going to make a salad.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
This tastes so fresh. It tastes like a cool Sunday evening. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to taste the salad as well.
Okay.
May I?
Please do.
It's so crunchy.
I know, right?
Fresh. It feels like you picked it fresh from your own garden. Yes. Thank you so much for having us, Mrs. Fiseko.
You're welcome.
We truly appreciate it. And we hope that you at home have definitely learned how to save more money by growing crops in your own garden to bring a fresh feel to your table.
Now, I also wish I had a garden in my yard so that I can make freshly juice from the garden. It did look like that glass of juice was so refreshing and it was so sweet.
I mean, the coleslaw was so crunchy. Talk about the crunchiest cabbage straight from the garden. It doesn't get any better than that.
And talking about gardening, have you ever done gardening before?
Yes, I have done gardening, but I also do trust Auntie Margaret from across the street with the vegetables, hey?
Yeah, when I was growing up, my aunt used to force us to garden. On my own, I have never done it. I simply walk by the auntie at the corner and I get my
And
veggies.
just like that.
And I'm fine. But I do need to get into it because, as we heard, it saves money.
It does save money. And also, speaking of vegetables, buying vegetables, you know Lumanda. Have you ever had it in a taco?
If you're feeling no.
Yeah. Well, we get to that as we do have Hungry AF, who has one of the best local ingredients meshed together to create something beautiful. Let's have a look. These recipes certainly look delicious, a little bit unconventional, but hey, that is what food is all about. Now, joining me on a Zoom call is Hungry AF. Thank you so much for coming through. Now, please do let me know, when did the desire to get into the kitchen and start creating and experimenting with all these recipes start from?
Yeah, so the experimentation started around the time I got into college because, you know, growing up in Zambian homes, you don't really get to experiment. There are specific recipes that you have to follow and whatnot. So you can't really mess around at home. So when I got into college, I started cooking for my friends. I started experimenting around. And then after graduating, I worked for a restaurant for a little bit of time. And that kind of like fueled me to open my own platform and share my recipes.
From chikanda toast to ifimbombo burritos, where do these recipes come from? What do you wake up and say, today I'm craving and I'm just gonna make?
So my whole vibe is fusion. I like getting recipes from outside the country, Western cuisines, Asian cuisines, and then just fusing them with traditional local Zambian ingredients. And so I just look at what I think works together. I get an ingredient from maybe the US, and I get an ingredient from a local ingredient, and just kind of try to fuse them together. I don't really like to do outlandish things. I usually the thought process in every recipe is kind of like elaborate, and it takes me some time to come up with something unique and that I think will work, and it mostly does. Sometimes it doesn't, but you don't get to see those videos.
Thank you so much for joining us, Hungry AF. It has been insightful. Remember, cook up a storm, as it is allowed to create anything that you are craving. We take a quick break. On the other side, we have more of Beyond the Dish.
You ever look at a pizza and your stomach starts smiling? At Pizza in Zambia, what your eyes see, your stomach agrees with instantly. Hot, cheesy, loaded with flavor, and baked to perfection. From the bold barbecue steak to classic pepperoni, we've got something for every craving. We also have Terrific Tuesday. Buy any large pizza and get one free on Monday and Tuesday at other stores, and from Monday to Thursday at Long Acres. But wait, there's more deliciousness. A dessert pie is just 35 kwacha. Get a salad at only 45 kwacha, a triple stack feast at 299 kwacha, and dips level up every bite at 10 kwacha each. Choose from mayo, barbecue, garlic mayo, or sweet chili. Dine in, take out, or order straight to your door. Pizza Inn. It must be the pizza!
Welcome back. In case you're just tuning in, this is Beyond the Dish on Diamond TV. Now, before the commercial, Lwendo did sit with Hungry AF just to pick his mind.
I did, and I must say that young man has a mind for food. What he does with ingredients is absolutely captivating. It's also good to see that from making videos, he's now going into brand influencing.
Of course.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
And I like that he's changing the narrative. He's a young man and he can cook.
he can cook, and that's a narrative we love to enjoy, as well as some street food. Tell us about that, Michopo.
Michopo, chikanda pari ba uncle, tuwete pari ba auntie. So I'm excited to see what Edna has for us on First Streets.
There is something tremendous and mouth-watering about street food. Not only is it full of flavor, but it just touches the right spot. I took a quick stop to grab something tasty, and I also had the chance to talk to Daniel, who's been in the game of grilling for some time now. Tag along. But Daniel,
yes,
this looks fresh. How long have you been in this game of brine?
so this year is my 5th year now.
5th year?
Yes, so 5 years, according to how much I've calculated myself. This is 5 years now.
So for 5 years, we're talking about 5 good years. What has been your experience like?
It's been full of up and downs, but we get used.
You get
used.
Interesting. Now, as fresh as this looks to my eyes, do you marinate this nights before, or?
The meat isn't marinated. We just use natural spices just here on the bread. But then the chicken is what we marinate overnight.
Oh, you marinate the chicken overnight?
Yes, so that it can have flavor.
And do you have any secret recipe for it to look this fresh and golden, besides the spices? Do you have a secret that you'd like to share with us?
There's no secret, actually. It's just dedication with the customers and everything like that. So,
but we see that it's for the best results, because at the end of the day, we get to taste the best, freshest meat, yeah? Okay. Wow, I was not ready for this goodness and juice. From me, it's craving satisfied. Over to you, Double L, Lwendo, and Lillian.
Thank you so much for that, Edna. Now, street food is more than just ordering the food and waiting for it. It is an experience that I would highly recommend. You are still watching Beyond the Dish right here on Diamond TV. We take a quick break, but after that, we get into nutrition, because you are what you eat, and taking us there is Chitty Fake. Most shops have more than one product, but you've never seen anything like this before. Let me show you. Be like Annie, grab a coffee.
Some shop, I sip. E4's coffee spot.
Got a broken phone? Be like Edna, browse around.
Need tech that moves with you? From phones to laptops, we've got the plug.
And that's not all. Come take a look. Need to seal the deal?
Here you have a functioning workspace for your meetings and remote work.
Or simply just unwind with Game Time.
You can find us at East Park Mall, corner of Great East and Thabo Mbeki Road, stand number 86, Lusaka, Zambia. Or you can find us at the Agora Village store at Agora Village along Thabo Mbeki Road, Lusaka, Zambia. For more information, you can call +260 973 209 820 or email us at sales@emarkltd.com.
eMark, increasing access to information and communications technology.
Welcome to Wellness Bites, where we share simple yet trusted nutritional health tips for you and your family. Today I'm joined by Ms. Rita Siamvugo, and we'll be having a discussion about new mothers and the kind of foods that they should eat. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
So science has shown that breastfeeding mothers need 500 more calories per day than non-breastfeeding women. What should new mothers eat to boost energy and milk supply?
Thank you so much. There are a lot of foods which you can eat, especially in Zambia this time. Any mother at any level which they can still eat shuma, they can eat vegetables, they can eat beans. When you eat shuma, make sure that you eat shuma, especially rora meal, which can give you complex carbohydrate. Okay, then you can eat beans. Beans is very high also in protein, as well as vegetables are high in vitamins. So mothers can also eat foods like kapenta. Kapenta is a very rich protein source, as well as omega-3 fat acids. As you know that omega-3 fat acid is very good for the baby's bone development. Because as a new mother, what you're supposed to know is what are you getting from this food that you are eating for the baby as well as for you as a mother. Okay, yeah, so you can also eat foods like fruits and vegetables. Fruits are very good because they are very high in vitamins as well as minerals as a new mother.
Many mothers feel the pressure to bounce back after giving birth and want to lose weight quickly. What kind of foods can they eat to lose weight whilst maintaining their energy?
Okay, that's a very good question because ladies want to be in shape all the time. They avoid even to have children, say, I know I'll lose my shape. But it's not that's not a problem. So you just have to know what you're supposed to do. You can, eat normally, okay? Moreover, when you eat balanced meals, okay, they will sustain your health as well as your baby's health. So focus on whole foods, such as whole grains, whole fruits, yes, and the vegetables, because those are very high in vitamins as well as minerals. Then you should also make sure that you breastfeed. In most cases, ladies, mothers, they will avoid breastfeeding. Remember, when you are breastfeeding, you lose a lot of calories, and that will help you to lose weight as well as also provide the necessary nutrients to the baby.
Indeed, it's very important, and thank you so much for being part of this chat today.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you learned something today. Remember that a healthy mother makes for a healthy baby.
Now, what a show we've had. We've spoken about home gardening, we went to the street, and we also ended with how you eat in a very healthy way. It's been quite a show.
It's been an amazing show, and I hope that we are arousing an appetite within you for our next episode, as we are going to be here giving you nothing but the best. So for now, from me and my colleagues, it's ciao ciao. How was task 11? It was refreshing because we weren't limited to what they usually give us. We had free minds, free ideas, and we ran with it. And honestly, it was fun, but the reality of it being the last one, I think, got to me a lot. I just felt my confidence drop to the floor, like all the way down, from 100 to 0 very quickly.
So first things first, I want to talk about the show in general. Then I'll talk about the individual segments. It's something different from the regular current affairs and everything else that we've been seeing. In fact, we do need more of... Now, you said it was a cook show at one point, and then you're telling me it's a food show and it's a lifestyle. So we do need a lot of lifestyle shows. However, I think you've been taught this throughout the whole competition. When you're creating or conceptualizing a show or a program, you need to have in mind who your target audience is. And remember that we are no longer just TV, we are media. So what about the social media aspect of it? Because most of the time, whatever we're putting on TV is either streamed live or you can use part of that content. So it can also be a cocktail of that, in that we need to have a fusion of the social media element. Throughout the whole presentation, whether it's the anchors or it's the segment, I do not see the mention or the fusing in of the social media aspect, except in one segment where it's actually the guest who uses social media to promote what they do. But as the program, you need to bear in mind that we are Diamond Media, and that's the element. And so when I talk about the target audience, think of that. A half-hour show is not a very long show. It's 24 minutes. But the attention span of audiences now is very short. And so to catch a viewer or a consumer right now, amidst all the clutter of the options of things they need, calls for a lot of creativity and good storytelling.
Off the bat, Costa feels the show is far better than the last group show that was produced, although he feels the name of the show is not as catchy.
Your segment, I feel out of the whole show, your segment was the best in terms of the choice of guest and what the guest does. What took away from your segment is what I asked you. Because it's a cook show, it would have really been nice to see this guy in action and you tasting these weird and bizarre and really the job we do as journalists is simply what we're told all the time, that if a dog bites somebody, it's not news. But if a man then decides to dip his teeth into a dog, it becomes bizarre. And so in each segment, I'm looking for that wow factor. So even when you watch MasterChef, it's like you are blown away from the most complex of dishes that somebody's cooking. I also watch this cake show where they would bake cakes and then place them in between real things and say, guess what is the cake and what is not real. I don't know if any of you have... Yes, so even in your segments, I was really looking for that wow element. And so I think your choice of that particular individual, putting chikanda on avocado and vimbombo mixed with beans, and it just took me into my taste buds, really. Like, for me, just the takeaway was that you had to sit somewhere else and he had to be on Zoom, and you needed to have added in a bit of, in fact, because he was not physically there with you, you needed to have then looked for enough footage of what he does and as you do the interview, because at the beginning you open with that taco and then in between is that toast with the chikanda only. So we should have been able to add a lot of video. But I think your segment for me stood out the most in terms of something memorable that I can remember. I still vividly see the chikanda and the chimbombo. I still see it. And can I taste that?
It felt amazing. Like, it felt amazing. It's just that I didn't want to show too much of it because teamwork makes the dream work. I wasn't trying to make any of my teammates feel left out. But it felt really good. And also seeing that it's the last one and then, you know, that amount of praise, it felt really nice.
Edna, unfortunately for me, poor storytelling. The story is flat. The idea is, it's just not unique. It was like, here we go again. And that's why I was calling the cast. And they can all agree with me. Every time contestants come onto DPS and they tell us street food, you're all going for Michopo. I saw this last year on DPS. That's why I was calling each one of them to say, because I wanted to show you that footage. That's why I asked you guys watch. There was Lim, and in fact, in last year's season, when there were two teams that went to do the task, and unfortunately both of them had the same segment. Now, even when you're speaking to that Mr. Daniel, your interview was all over. I didn't understand whether you were trying to talk about the freshness of the meat, you were trying to talk about the cost, because it was just through your words that you're telling us, it is looking so fresh, it is, what? There was no preparation process of anything there. And again, if I ask you, if we just walk out of this place, every market will go to Long Acres, they are doing Michopo. Matebeto, they are doing Michopo. So there's nothing wowing me about buying a T-bone. Like when I watch it, what do I get out of it? It doesn't. Again, sorry, I'll keep on giving this example because when I watch her segment, it's like it takes me into this experimental cooking mode. Like, okay, this guy is crazy. Can I try that? But yours is just too ordinary. Like probably I can do a better marinade than that guy because I mix mine with wine and I use all sorts of funny spices. So again, it was too ordinary. It just didn't blow me. Chitty, again, voiceover, brilliant stuff. I applaud you for that. Nutrition segment. In a lifestyle show, again, the interview shouldn't just be flat. So you're coming from a very good EMAC advert and presenters who are energetic, then we just make it flat with a nutritionist. It just became too heavy for me in the manner. Again, the storytelling could have been creatively done because I'm coming from this one hype segment, then we just become flat. At least this time, apart from the opening, there was very little reading. But again, it didn't blow me away. Lillian, you said there was no segment. The only thing I can say for you is the chemistry between the two of you. Obviously, you were bringing some Coppola vibe I could feel there, which she may not be too familiar with, and so I could see that. Yeah, but I love to see that interaction and pretty decent performance. I saw that people were putting everything, hair, accessories to point, and looking at camera. I was looking at all those things because it's my job, so that's the feedback I can give you. The best thing that stands out for me in this is just the commercials and your segment. Well done.
The commercials stood out and Costa commends the team on that. That's Costa's feedback, and pretty soon he will have to eliminate 3 people. The road to finding our next diamond is nearly complete. Out of the 5 ladies, Costa has to eliminate 3, and we're only left with the top 2. Now, in today's task, the contestants had to stand out. That is the difference of who leaves and who stays.
Contestants, welcome to the final top 5 and the final elimination of DPS Season 6. First of all, congratulations to the 5 of you for making it into the top 5. You deserve to give yourselves a big round of applause, guys. We started with 20, 2 did not show up, so the show began with 18. And out of those 18, you are the top 5. This show, like I keep on saying, for us and for me as CVO, is not just about picking a presenter and picking somebody who joins the team. Over the years, this has become a life-changing journey. the things we do, the interactions we have, the mentorship that we give truly does change the lives of so many young people. One of the biggest reasons why I and the team established this platform, we're 8 years running and going strong, is to provide a platform for young talent.
Edna is first to receive her feedback. Hopefully, it does not end in elimination.
And so at this point, 3 of you, unfortunately, will have to go home, and 2 of you will need to face me with 3 other very tough judges in the boardroom for an interview. Are we ready? So in no particular order, the first person who leaves the show today is Edna. Well done for making it to the top 5, but I think my feedback is very clear. You have given us some pretty interesting performance in the season. You have won some tasks, and I think that your strength lies in more current affairs interviews. I don't know whether that is what you consider your strength. I find you to be a bit, I need to look for the right word, a bit rigid for entertainment or lifestyle. I think current affairs or politics would be your best fit.
I've been eliminated because Costa says he believes I best fit current affairs. How I feel about that? Well, I'm disappointed to some extent. I'm disappointed because even with our previous task, he mentioned to say we are a media powerhouse that dwells so much on news, and he also mentioned to say that we were given that interview task because we do a lot of news, and for me to even have won that challenge, that's current affairs, and for me to be eliminated because he believes and thinks my strength is in current affairs, to some extent, it kind of doesn't add up with me. It doesn't sit well with me, unless, I don't know.
Luendo, unfortunately for you, I'm sending you into the top 2.
Oh my goodness.
You're almost falling off your chair. I'll see you in the boardroom tomorrow. So this time we'll be looking not just for what you're able to do on TV, but we'll be looking for what your CV is all about and whether or not you can make a good fit for Diamond. I urge you to go and mentally prepare yourself. It is a job interview. I'll have 3 professionals, highly acclaimed professionals within the business. It will not be easy, so bring your A game, because yes, you've made it to the top 2. You have wowed us with some good presentations. I think the camera loves you. Why I take you into the top 2 is because I feel you have the ability to bring something fresh to the team. We have so many current affairs people, and I think we need a breath of fresh air. But also, we need more ladies on the team. I wish you the best in your interview.
Luendo makes it to the top 2. This leaves one of the 3 ladies, Annie, Chitty, or Lillian. This is it.
Annie, you had a very good plea in the last task that didn't make a lot of people happy, but I still brought you to the top 5. I believe you have a very strong personality. You come out to be very mature. I hope you can develop potential to be a good team player. You said you are the only one on the group that is not doing media. But if it is your passion, whether you're a lawyer, a chef, or a doctor, pursue it, if that's God's gift to you. One of my strength as a leader is to always spot talent. You can make it into media, but you have to do a little bit more. Your interviewing skills need to be sharpened. Your ability to storytell needs to be sharpened.
Annie is eliminated as well. It is now down to Lillian and Chiti. The room is getting more tense by the second.
The way I feel about Annie being the first person to be eliminated, I was kind of like, after the feedback that we received, I was not expecting her to be the first person to be eliminated. Like I said, I expected her to maybe be the second person to be eliminated. I expected myself to be the first, but when she was eliminated first, I was like, oh my gosh, justice for Ntandose, justice. It seems very unkind, but I did kind of celebrate. There was a mini celebration for a brief moment. I was like, it's better to not be in that position, really. But I do genuinely wish her the best. I wish her the best in her future endeavors, and I hope she's happy in her life. I just hope she doesn't pull that trigger again.
I came into the auditions straight from feeling like I have no passions. I think a few days before the auditions, I had a conversation with a friend from Diamond TV, and he asked me, what's your passion currently? And I said, nothing. I'm not passionate about anything. I'm just into motherhood right now. And so when I went for the auditions, the judges saw something in me, and I'm coming out of it very passionate about media. I have loved the journey. I have loved the mentorship, loved working with the team. I've loved learning everything that I've learned. I think it is a superpower to present. It's not easy, but I really, really do appreciate the opportunity, and I appreciate the fact that you saw the talent in me. Making top 5 against these formidable women is not a small thing. So I'm very proud, and I am going to pursue media.
Well done. Well done. All the best. Chiti, you bet on yourself that you were going to be eliminated probably in the top 10, 12? Stop having self-doubt about yourself. You literally have walked into some of the presentations or eliminations, yes, literally shaking. You can only achieve in life when you first believe. 60% of what people achieve starts within themselves. Begin to engage in self-confidence activities. Speak to yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself you're good at what you do and you're powerful. That's the only way. You doubt yourself too much. You have a brilliant voice. You have a brilliant voice. Not only for adverts, I think you can do well with documentaries and a whole lot of narration.
I'm very grateful to the feedback that Mr. Mwansa gave us, in particular the feedback that he gave me. It wasn't shocking advice that he gave me. I wasn't surprised by it. And like I said earlier, I definitely will take this entire competition and learn something from it. And I will try and build my self-confidence so that I can be able to pursue a better career in media.
Again, throughout the competition, we told you about your reading. That changed because TV is all about the camera and the viewer, engaging the viewer and the camera. You may have a very softer side to you in terms of temperament, but being loud does not necessarily mean you need to have a very loud voice. Being loud can come in the context of your content, your topics, and really how you tell the story. So I wish you all the best as well. So, ladies, one of you has to go home and one of you has to go into the top 2. Lillian, you join me in the boardroom tomorrow.
Congratulations, Lillian. We have our top 2. What a journey. On the next episode of the Diamond TV Presenter Search, Lillian and Lwendo are interviewed.
Because my emotions went from like 100 to 0 real quick, I felt very shaken in a good and bad way because I was expecting someone else, but hearing my name definitely felt good. A nice boost in the right direction. But top 2, it's not where it's at. Being number 1 is where it's at.
I think from my reaction, the tears and everything, I am first of all proud of myself. It's not been an easy ride. It's been challenging. There's been moments when I've doubted my abilities, moments when I've looked at the next person and felt they're actually better than I. But even in those moments, I've gone back to who I think I am and what I think my abilities are, and I've tapped into my potential to the fullest of my abilities, and here I am, top 2. So I guess it says that I'm a diamond.
I'm a diamond, I'm a diamond. You are looking for, so watch me come. I'm a diamond, I'm a diamond. You are looking for, I'm in my prime. Every heartbeat syncs with the rhythm of the night. Dancing in the glow, let my spirit take flight. With every step I take, I embrace the